you think you are, you actually become. What you constantly rehearse is what actually is presented to the world. What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Ci'Ara Desaree. Once again, I am sending my love your way. Thank you so much for tuning in to this video today. And I just wanted to jump on here and kind of just talk a little bit about just the idea of not loving self. This is something that I just feel like is so apparent these days, is running rampant these days. I'm coming from a female standpoint in regard to why self-love is so important, and I've struggled with it, and I'm not saying that I'm all the way out of the woods with it, because some days are better than others, but I do realize how important it is for us to love ourselves. I'm talking as a person that has honestly demonstrated self-hate in regard to how I treat myself. And I didn't realize that that's what I was doing when it was actually happening. But, you know, hindsight is 2020. And when you find yourself circling the same problem, you're actually going around the same mountain because it's a lesson that you didn't learn. And as I get older, I realize that the thing that I needed to learn the most, the thing that should stand out to me at the greatest level, is the fact that until I love myself completely, I'm never going to be able to love anybody else fully. But in college, I struggled a lot when it came to rejection. I would try out for dance teams. I would try out for organizations. I would try out for clubs, whatever it was, you name it. But I always ended up not getting it for some odd reason. I didn't know if it was because they felt like I lacked confidence. I didn't know if it was because I didn't know the right people. All of it just started to take over, and it was just like rejection was something that I had to become comfortable with. And at that age, I wasn't trying to be understanding of how rejection was actually God's protection. Rejection to me was just like another no, another you're not good enough. And that was the umbrella of my life at one point. Everything that happened to me, the reason being was because I wasn't good enough. I started really believing this, that I was not good enough, that I lacked confidence, I lacked beauty, I lacked education, I lacked networking ability, I lacked something, which means I didn't have everything that was needed in order to get the things that I wanted. And this started to take a toll on me internally. I never had been that low, because even when it came to men too, like men would overlook me, walk right past me, look at my friend that I'm walking with as if I didn't exist. And again, it's rehearsed in my mind. They didn't see you, they didn't speak to you, they didn't try to holler at you because you're not pretty enough, you're not good enough, you don't have what it takes. So internalizing that was definitely detrimental to my spirit. You it's crazy what you can teach yourself in regards to it being negative, but the power that has to come from inside you to unlearn. Like, it's so easy to teach yourself how to be negative, but it is so hard to learn new habits to make you healthy. You just begin to take that to heart, and you walk as if you're not enough, you talk like you're not enough. And even in my adulthood, I'm trying to unlearn some of those things that I believe. The lies that the enemy has told me about myself have been prevalent, rehearsed things that I have to fight every day. And I just want people to understand that you have to care for yourself before anybody else can care for you. Me having to put truth on the inside of me by studying the word, or being around positive people, or, you know, doing things that would make me feel good for myself, or things that needed to happen in order for me to come out of the sunken place that I put myself in, thinking that I wasn't good enough. But what you think you are, you actually become. what you constantly rehearse is what actually is presented to the world. And it's time for a lot of women that, and I can't blame everybody, but I do see it a lot. We try to look like the Instagram models. We want the snatch waist, the big booty, the long weave, long nails, cute toes, all of these things that help you feel like you are better than the next female. But all of those things are outward adornments that have nothing to do with how you really feel about yourself on the inside. And I used to cover up. Because you can wrap shit in gold. You know what I'm saying? Wrap some shit up, cover it with gold. Is it gold or is it some shit? You know what I'm saying? It's still not what it should be. And it's just like, if we were to take all of these adornments off of us, how would we really feel about ourselves? Could we really look in the mirror and have a whole conversation with you and be like, I love you. You are beautiful. You are talented. You are smart. Or are we depending on the likes, the views, the comments, the followers to validate who we are? And I was that girl. Like, I was really trying to depend on likes validating who I was, on a man giving me a compliment, but I was waiting for that confirmation and affirmation from a man because I didn't love myself. And you go down a wrong path, a long wrong path, when you start to need that validation because you did not give it to yourself first. And it's a hurt that you don't want to experience. And I really truly believe that God has me in this position right now as a single woman trying to rediscover self-love in my adult age, because he knows it is so vital for me to have in order to be powerful in whatever he needs me to do. And I just want to encourage any woman out here or man out here that is depending on validation from social media, from the opposite sex, from a parent. If you don't have that on the inside of you, if you don't validate yourself, if you can't compliment yourself, if you can't stand naked in the mirror with nothing material and actually love what you see, then there's work to be done. Because the person that you can't run from is your reflection. And it's going to always show up. And my goal as a confidence consultant is to get people back in front of their reflections, to understand that self-love is so important. And when we don't have it, we run the risk of hurting ourselves. We run the risk of hurting our friends and our families, or even our loved ones, because it becomes their responsibility to give us the thing that we were responsible for giving ourselves. Okay? I want you to know that you don't have to do it alone. God wants us to love who he created. And it doesn't mean that we have to go out and get this brand of makeup, this label of clothes, or we need this many followers in order to do that. Because what the truth is the fact that if you love yourself at the core of who you are, all the other stuff will come. And even if it goes away, you're not going to lose who you are. Okay? So until we meet again, guys, make sure you do everything in your power to be you, do you, but most importantly, stay true. Always and forever. I love you. Bye.